Welcome to Storytime. Ventus arrives in the Dwarven Woodlands. He finds himself close to a mine, and going inside finds 7 dwarves who enjoy working, often in tandem with whistling. They assume he's a diamond thief, and he tries to prove them wrong by aggressively chasing them all around the mine. He eventually gives up, but the dwarves tell him he might find whoever he's looking for in the castle. He goes through the forest and finds Snow White crying all alone. She says that she was running through the forest when a bunch of evil trees attacked her, which seems like it would make this kind of a bad forest to live in, but whatever. Ventus agrees to escort her through the haunted forest, fighting off evil trees and unversed. He brings her to the dwarf's cottage, and decides to check the perimeter in case there's any evil bushes or shrubs around. In the meantime, the dwarves come back, and are alarmed when Ventus just barges into their house, which doesn't do a lot for their theory that he's a vagrant. Snow vouches for him though, and mentions that he's the second guy with the key that she's seen today, the other one being, of course, Terra. The dwarves assume that this means Terra is a vagrant too, so Ventus runs off to prove them wrong. He doesn't find Terra, who's already left, but he does find an apple. It belongs to an older woman in black who totally isn't an evil queen in disguise or anything. She also remembers seeing another boy with a keyblade, but says that all he did was wave it at her and demand to know where some dude named Xehanort is. Ventus assures her that there must have been some misunderstanding, but the shadow of a doubt about his friend does begin to creep into his mind as he leaves. Ventus's next world is the Castle of Dreams. He appears in a mansion, but he ends up as small as a mouse for some reason, and apparently he gets distracted by some cheese because he ends up in a mousetrap. A kind mouse named Jack finds his friend Cinderella, and gets her to open the trap and let Ventus free. Cinderella goes off to do chores for her stepmother, and Jack explains that she has a dream that she's working toward. The mouse gives Van a tour of the house, and through the window they can see the castle, where a prince is going to have a ball that night. Cinderella joins them and starts working on a dress that she's been sewing for the ball, but she's called away again. Jack says that Cinderella's rotten stepmother and stepsisters will keep her working so that she doesn't have time to finish her dress, so he has the idea that he and Ventus can finish it for her. And while it may seem strange that a mouse is going to sew a human-sized dress, he does appear to have made clothes for himself and they look pretty styling, so apparently it's fine. Ventus runs all around the house grabbing all the different materials they need to make the dress. While he's doing that, he comes across the house cat, who is appropriately named Lucifer. It tries to eat Ven, but he bops it good and returns to finish the dress. Cinderella is overjoyed to see it finished, and goes off to her dream ball. Jack asks Ventus what his dream is, and he decides it's to be a Keyblade Master, the same dream Aqua and Terra have. Believing that his dream can come true like Cinderella's did, he moves on. Sometime later, Terra arrives at the Castle of Dreams as well, and he finds Cinderella crying on a bench, her dress all torn up. She tells Terra that her stepsisters ripped up her dress so she couldn't go to the ball. Terra, for once not being a dum-dum, tells her that she needs to be strong and that she'll get through it. A voice from nowhere says that he's right, but that's not all that she needs. Cinderella says that she doesn't believe in anything anymore, and her fairy godmother appears, insisting that there's still faith in her heart. She bibbidi-bobbidi boos, and Cinderella gets a bangin' new dress and a swag pumpkin carriage, decked out with 30-inch spinners and a PlayStation 2 right in the back. With a magical midnight curfew, Cinderella goes off to the ball, and the fairy godmother asks Terra if he believes in dreams coming true. He says he does, but that you need to go after them yourself to make them come true. The godmother helps Terra understand that her magic worked by using Cinderella's own faith in her dream, and tells Terra to go to the ball so that he can see a dream that's come true. When he gets to the castle, he sees that Cinderella is being attacked by Unversed, and he tells her to run and hide, but he has severely underestimated how bad she wants to go to this party. He helps her get inside, and Cinderella makes a dazzling debut with the ball. More Unversed crash the party, and Terra has to take them out, although luckily it doesn't seem to bother most of the guests that much. Apparently a pretty low bar has been set for this dude's parties. The Grand Duke tells Terra that the Unversed have been around ever since a masked boy came around, but before he can get more info, Cinderella has to book it, because it's midnight and her magic's about to run out. Terra follows her, but the person he finds is Aqua.